Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is finally Fierce Female Friday, January 26th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today has been on the show previously, and he's back with us in this new year of 24th so that we can catch up and see what he's been up to. Now, this week has been an amazing week because we just wrapped up Haute Couture Fashion Week, which was yesterday, and it ended yesterday with the Margiela show. And Maison Margiela did a fabulous job. Pat McGrath did an outstanding job on the makeup. It was so surreal and so beautiful. And I've done Paris Fashion Week coverage all throughout this week. So to wrap up this week with our very special guest, Rico King, ladies and gentlemen, he's here. Mark, hello. Welcome back to the Dawn.
How about now?
Better. We got you. We can see you.
All right. So today, thank you for having me. First and foremost, for having me again. What's up, Steve?
I am doing wonderful. Welcome back. Well, first of all, happy January 2024. Give us a sec, ladies and gentlemen. And TGIF, I hope you guys are doing awesome. It is finally Friday, finally the weekend, and it's been a fabulous week thus far. Now, next week is going to be even more fabulous. We have Ruby Red joining me, and I know where he's at, Daniel, or on my end. I think it's where Rico's at. Give us a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We're having some tech issues. I think it's on Rico's end where he's at. So if he has to go out and come back in, I definitely do not mind adding him back. God, let me exit him out.
All right. Hello.
There we are. There we are. We can hear you and we can see you now. Better.
So
There we are.
picking up where I left off, thank you for welcoming me back. It feels good to be back. 2024. You look beautiful as always.
You were saying you got paused for a minute. You were saying?
I said thank you for welcoming me back. You look beautiful as always. Feels good to be back.
Yes, and before we get started into catching up on what you've been up to, happy 2024. We're like at the end of this month right here, heading into February. So, how did you celebrate and ring in 2024?
This time was different. So last year, I was in Times Square I was working as a referee in a segment for um, a skit that they were doing with Ryan Seacrest. You know, he took over for Dick Clark, right? The main thing, rocking in the new year. So this was way different for me. I was not working. I was actually at home. I walked past a window of somebody as the countdown was going 10,
Yes.
9. Are
All
you
right.
somebody?
Yeah, you. Go ahead, Rico. I'm sorry.
I was actually walking on the street this time and in Jersey where I live, and I saw someone in the window, a family counting down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year. And I just took a moment to reflect on how blessed I was to be able to still be alive, healthy, and sound mind and body, and knowing that where I was last year and where I am this year, and what's to come. The best is yet to come, and I'm just so thankful and reflecting on being able to work in 2023. My last gig was of that magnitude, where hundreds of thousands of people tune in for the New York ball drop, and then this time it was very cool because wasn't nobody looking at me. I was just walking past on my way home, grabbing a sandwich. So I was like, cool, I'm going to go home and chill.
And then we see you in the campaigns. We've been watching, we've seen you in the campaigns and so many things. You've been working on some things, some projects since we last spoke in 2023. What else has happened since we did our very first interview back last year?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Things have been moving along quite well. Last year, I had some things in the pipeline that finally came to fruition. So the Verizon commercial industrial that I told you about, that's out now. Also, the Trojan condom ads they're running, as well as a few more things that we did speak about. I know that I'm working on a few more things right now. It's creating a new pipeline for this year. Those things are out. So if you happen to see me before I get to see it myself, or if you see me in a photo, billboard or anything, please tag me in it. I still encourage everyone to do that because I don't get to see everything on my own.
You've got the campaigns out, you've been in commercials, you did the ball drop with Ryan Seacrest. What else are you manifesting for this year of 2024?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. This year is going to be speaking roles on major network streaming services for me. That's what has been put out there, and I'm on the path to doing that.
Yes. And Daniel says that you're still looking amazing. And World of 20
Daniel,
says, go.
thank you guys. Appreciate you both.
Yes. So, how important is we talked about the power of intuition and the power of manifestation this week? How important is that in this year of 2024? And I had a conversation with my girlfriend, Stephanie. We were talking about how 2024 was our year. And I took a page from your book because I knew that you're big on affirmations. And I started putting little sticky notes on my vision board as well, too, with quotes on them to get me through the day. I said, Rico King does this. How important is manifestation for this year of 2024?
I believe it's more important than ever. In fact, it's become even more relevant in my life as I see that things can happen. The power of the spoken word has been implemented throughout my whole career in all areas, in my relationships, personal and business, in my finances, in my spiritual walk, and also in my health. My goal, as you can tell, for the physical deposit of manifestation was to get my legs from going from ostrich to having some muscle. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's something happening right over here. Yeah, yeah. So that's happening. I'm happy about that. My finances have grown. Thank God for that. My spiritual walk. I just got off a Bible study, 2 of them today. So I'm very happy to be plugging in with people who are following the path that I'm on spiritually and are growing. So big up to Andrew who plugs in with me. I plug in with him, and they're further along than I am. So I'm happy to be in the posture of a student, and then I can learn and get information and perspective from them, and then be able to go out and spread the good news. Also, shout out to my best friend Derek Carr, as well as Scott West. Derek Carr is in Louisville, Kentucky, and Scott West is in Wisconsin, Stevens Point. We just got off of Bible study too. So I appreciate the things that are happening with manifestation, as you were just speaking about. Without vision, we will perish. It's in there. So it's a principle that I practice myself. So I always want to speak what isn't as if it were, and then it will become. It will become, and it's happening. And I think that if other people really would just submit to that, and it's not a bunch of hocus pocus or voodoo, and just really understand the power of the spoken word. You can speak negatively. It works in the reverse too. You can speak negatively against yourself, and that will happen as well. So the seeds that we plant, they will come.
One thing that I love about you is that you stay grounded and surrounded with prayer and people who keep you uplifted as well too. And that is one thing that I definitely admire about you as well too. It is important because every morning when I get up, there are two things that I do. That is my morning affirmation and my prayer as well too. And that gets me going. So I'm glad that you talk about your spiritual journey as well too, as staying grounded and centered. How important is that for this year? Because there's going to be a lot, and I said it when I kicked off this season, which is my 18th season. I
Congratulations.
said that this year, thank you, this year is going to be a wild ride because we got election right around the corner. All of these things that are going to be coming up out in the open of this year. How important is it that people stay centered and grounded in the year of 24?
It's very important to find a place of peace in your life, so that way that you can grow from there. When you start off your day in a erratic behavior, and you let other people dictate the course of the actionable steps that you're going to take, you're not in control anymore. They are. Uh, Online presence, as well as when you step your foot out the door, people people will have ulterior motives, and they'll have good and bad both. But you got to make sure that you're spiritually, emotionally um, grounded, as we're talking about. So starting off with the word, like my devotional is very important to me. Sometimes people see me post around 2 and 3, 4 in the morning. I have no problem sleeping. I'm just, my dreams are so big they keep me up. And when I go to the word, it gives me peace, and I can then meditate on that, go back into a sleep, wake up around my normal time, 6 or 7, knowing that that root, that seed has been planted in my mind, and I'm better off. Now I got the helmet on, the breastplate, the sword, my tongue is sharp. I can go out and speak life into people, and when what it's a boomerang. So whatever I put out there, it's going to come back to me. And I just want to be that vessel to help others. So being grounded is super duper duper important. And setting that standard for yourself before you even speak to anyone else. It starts within.
Daniel says we got the devil running for re-election. Yes, we touched on that Monday with Keith Boykin, which reminds me, his book, Why Does Everything Have to Be About Race, is out right now. Make sure you guys please go and check that interview out. That was groundbreaking, a groundbreaking interview, and to have him here in the dollhouse and to give us on what we can expect for this year in 2024 as far as the election, uh, definitely go and check that one out. That was one for the books. Joshua says, "You are the best, and tell Rico that we love him." And that is from Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua. Joshua's
Now, how
actually a member
was the
here.
last
He's
time
a
we,
member here at this gym. He's not here though, as you can tell.
and he says that you work very hard and you're very passionate about what you do.
Yes, yes. Joshua knows that for a fact. I've known him for over 10 years now.
Now, speaking of working hard, because the last time you were here, we talked about, I thought you were a daddy, but you said Uncle Duties. How is Uncle Duties going for you so far? I know I became an aunt, and my little nephew is already starting to outdress me. You guys call me the queen of fashion, but he's starting to get a style of his own. So, auntie duties for me. So, for you, how is Uncle Duties?
Yes, I'm happy to report that I will be seeing both CJ and Eli right after this. I just got off the phone with my sister Renata, their mom, and they're coming over at 7 o'clock. So we're gonna get to spend some time together, and they can run and jump all over me, and we just have a good time together. Yeah, I'm very happy.
Joshua, Joshua says yes, and I irritate him a lot, but you have patience.
Yes, I would have to agree with my patience part. The irritation, that's just him projecting. Because Joshua, once you get to know Joshua, you'll understand. He'll apologize, and I'll be like, for what? And then he'll find a reason. He'll be like, well, we're just calling you. I'm like, that's what we do when we talk, Joshua. You call me, and then we talk.
There's you in Blink? And we should meet soon.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's where I'm at three days a week. That's part of my health routine. I spend 3 days here.
You remind me so much of another actor that I interviewed as well too, and I think y'all two would probably be in sync personality wise because you both are doing something positive and you both stay encouraged. And that actor is Aaron Lloyd. Aaron Lloyd, I've interviewed him, and he's been out here doing coaching, giving people life coach advice and just positive motivation and reinforcement out in the universe because we're going to need that for 2024, as Daniel mentioned, with this election coming up and so many crazy things that'll be going to happen. I know this month was award show season, so we've seen a lot of award shows, a lot of award nominees roll out, the Oscar nominees roll out. So it's going to be a very few busy months that are coming up, especially for February. I know for me, Fashion Week, you guys know that I'm a fashion girl, so I'm going to be focused on that. Just wrapped up Haute Couture Week yesterday with the Margiela show. So it's a lot that is going to be coming out for these next few couple of months. So how can people stay, how can I say this? How can people find an escape to what's going on? What are some of the tips that you do when you see everything that's going on in the news and in the media?
Can you repeat that? When everything's going on where?
In the news and in the media, how do you find your escape? I know for me, I log off sometimes and I put the phone down because it can be very stressful with everything that is going on. So how do you find your escape and get away from everything that's going on in the world?
That's a great question. Well, first of all, I don't subscribe to any news channels. I don't know what's going on, uh, so that makes it easier for me. Uh, if a person is subscribing to whatever social content or news media outlet, just make sure that it's nourishing and it's not
Yes.
harmful. I think that's very important for them to have discernment because it's called news programming for that very
Mm,
reason. It's a program. They have an agenda and they will push their agenda on you. And whether you realize it or not, subconsciously, it's in your head. You can try to ignore it, but even if you have it playing in the background, we get messages all the time and we're not conscious of it. So just make sure that you have something that's nourishing to your thought process, uh, playing in the background, or if you're focused on it and if you're watching it, make sure the message that you're receiving from it is going to be helpful and not harmful. Because the hand of a knife, if we have a knife, Stevie, it can be used for harm or it can be used to help. If you put it in the hands of a surgeon, it can be used to help you. If you put it in the same knife in the hands of a mugger, it can be used to harm. But you got to make sure whatever. My point is this: the vehicle, like such as the news or the phone, social media and stuff like that, whoever hands it's in, and whatever program you're watching, make sure that the intent that it's going to be used for is going to help you. There's got to be some benefit in it. It can't be just used as a tool for gossip and to carry on to spread rumors and things like that, because that's not going to help anyone.
at
Does that make
all.
sense?
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people ask me because I spoke, like I said, when I did my girl talk with my girlfriend, and I got introduced to her friend yesterday as well too. It was sort of like us girls linking up, having girl talk. Now women are, and we were talking about finding escape, finding a getaway. And I know for me, because she said you do this platform every day, Monday through Friday, which I do, and a lot of my guests and a lot of people say this all the time. How do you find the time? You are so persistent and dedicated. That's all I know. I stay driven. So for me, it's my peripheral and my vision is focused straight forward. And I
Blinders
think
on.
it's because
Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio. We are straight up to the point, no chaser. My mom's a Libra, so I think I picked up some of her traits: hardworking, dedicated to what I do, persistent, and always wanting to be the first one to win and encourage other people to win as well too. So for me, once I'm done with Style by Stevie, I do my uploads, I look at fashion or whatever, I watch some funny YouTube videos, and I'll go and I'll check out my other uh, creators' content on YouTube or whatever, support the other creators that support me. I put that phone down and I put my page in sleep mode. That's what I do. And any messages that people send me, it goes right to me and I can check it in the morning and I respond back to everybody. But I do go through and I like people's comments. But after that, once I'm done with Style by Stevie, I do the upload of the clip of the interview and I upload it to my channel. And then that's family time for me. After I'm done with this, once everything is done, that's family time for me. So I've learned that being in this entertainment business, you have to make time for your family as well as yourself. Because if you are not making time for yourself, you will wear yourself thin. And that is very, very important. Now, I remember when I first started with this platform in my younger years, because I started very young, right after high school with Style by Stevie, 2014, and was still going strong in 24. Uh, I would always find myself, if I'm sick or whatever, I would always want to be going, 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 going. But I'm just like, once you hit 30, because I'm 30 now, you got to slow it down. You can't do the things that you were doing in your younger years. And I've realized that. And I said, okay, if I'm sick or whatever, I've learned to listen to my body.
Pay
Listen to my body.
attention.
Yes. And if it's telling me that it's time to take a break, it's time to take a break.
Yeah.
And to all of us workaholics out here, when you know that it's time to take a break, put that phone down, put that laptop down, and take that break. Self-care and mental care is definitely refreshing because as you scroll down the timeline, the crazy stories, I've had to mute certain outlets because I'm just like, this is too exhausting to watch or look at. So I've learned to just mute certain outlets, hide certain outlets, but put that phone down and focus on something else. Once I'm done with Style by Stevie, that's family time. As we was doing our interview, that was my mom, you guys heard, knocking on the door. So this is real time. That's what I go through. That's what happens outside of this platform. Yes, I'm a daughter, I'm a niece, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt. All of those things outside of this. So you have to learn to separate the two. And I've been doing pretty good balancing out both with family and having this platform. And a lot of people say, well, how do you balance out family? You give people time. You give family time. In this entertainment business, in this industry, if you are actor, producer, director, artist, you're always on the go. You're in high demand. You're having to make so many appearances. You're having to do photo shoots. You're having to do press. You're having to do all of these things to promote your product and get it out there. That you have to make time for your family. And I know I make time for my family. My cousin, shout out to my cousin Sherry. I call her my shopping buddy. Uh, I text her every weekend. It's a ritual. It is a thing that we do every weekend. I text her and I text my girlfriend Felicia or my girlfriend Stephanie, who was here yesterday, and K-Toops, my brother. So all of them, they keep in touch with me outside of the platform. If they don't see me live, they will text me on the phone or literally call and say, you all right, sis? Everything okay? Girl, what's going on? I'm just taking that mental break in time for myself. So I do reply and I reply back to them because I love them dearly. And that's what it should be. You got to make time for yourself. And in 2024, I want to encourage people to make yourself a priority because you are all you have. If your body is telling you, I remember I did one show, I want to say season 13 or season 3. Season 3, I want to say. Of season 3, I did a whole show with a sinus infection. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. The power of being a woman is that women, we have the strength to keep going. And I had to put on a smile and be pretty. But on the inside, once I got done with that interview, I felt it. So I was out for a couple of days after I did that last interview. And I said, never again will I ever do that. So listen to your body. But that's what I've learned from experience throughout the years. If I'm having my days, I take that break. Listen to your body. Don't wear yourself thin because I'm telling you, if you don't, you only get one you. And
And
I
we
encourage people to
only have so much. We only have so much bandwidth per day. So, with everyone having the same amount of hours, you have to learn learn yourself. What works for you? When can you optimize the things in your life that are important? Make the most important things the most important things. What do I mean by that? It's by scheduling your priorities. You can put anything on your calendar. Anyone can be booked and busy, but hell, anybody can run on a treadmill. But you're not going anywhere. You're just running in place. So
Right.
there's a difference between being busy, productive, and just being busy for the sake of being busy. Like a lot of that is ego when people talk about, oh, I'm super busy and this and that. I'm like, okay, so what did you get accomplished? And if they think about it, if you give them a second to reflect, and they don't really have too much to show for it. My point is this: don't, don't let ego and pride be the dictator of your moves. Don't let emotions either, because emotions are good indicators, but they're horrible decision makers. I'll repeat that. They're very good. We all need to become more emotionally intelligent, but don't let those be in the driver's seat to move you through, navigate through life. You got to understand and process it, and take time. Just take a couple beats and take a step back and say, okay, I feel this way. Is this something from my past resurfacing, trying to tell me what direction I should take with this? And if it is it a benefit? Is it beneficial, or should I put it in its proper place and then make a different decision? Because if we let our past dictate our future, then that's a perpetual cycle, and that's the pattern
Mm.
that's going to continue to happen throughout. And nothing's going to change but the date, and we're going to get older and older practicing the same things. So we got to make these. We got to become self-aware. And yeah, I just wanted to share that real quick while we're on the topic.
I'm glad you touched on that because I'll never forget what Troy Skinner said when he came on the show. He said, "How someone asked him in the comments, how do you handle negative comments and just negativity?" He says, "Distraction. It's distractions out here." So again, remember what I said about that laser beam focus and staying focused in your direction on what you need to do? That is what needs to happen for this year. You stay focused on what you need to do. Don't get distracted. But also make sure that you are taking care of yourself as well too. Because a lot of people talk about New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions. What do I want to work on? What do I want to do to better myself or be healthy for the year? And sometimes we don't finish the goal, but the key trick is again to stay focused and encouraged on what you are doing. And that's why I have my vision board every morning when I wake up. It again, it's a ritual. I pray and I do my morning affirmations. And I sometimes walk over to my vision board and I put little quotes on my vision board as well too. And I read those quotes and they help me in the morning as well also. So write yourself little reminders. You guys already know I've taken my lipstick and I written believe on my mirror. And first thing when I get up, I look in that mirror and it says believe. I believe that all things are possible. I believe that anything is coming and great things are coming for me. And this year, I must say this season right here compared to last season, season 17, when I first did my interview with Rico, it's completely different. You see a more, how can I say it, a more bolder side of me compared to, whereas before I was a little closed offish, private. I'm still mysterious, yet you still never know I'm a mysterious woman. So that's the beauty of it. You'll never know. But
Yeah, but keep them guessing, Stevie.
yeah,
That's the best part about it. They're only allowed to see what we give them permission to see.
absolutely. This season, I want you're expecting more transparency. I'm being more transparent with people and just calling it out for what it is, being more vocal about things. Whereas before, I'm just like, this career move, I don't know if I should take. This one, I'm just like, let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Dare. The last vision board that I did, I put the word dare. This
Dare.
one right here is just shine. The word of the year for me is shine. You have a purpose. You have so much in store for you. So the word on my vision board right now for this one for 24 is shine because we are all stars in our own right. Whether it's you're at the top of your game in the boardroom at a meeting, you're going in position, and you're just like, okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. Shine. Always remember shine. What sets you aside and what makes you different than the other people that are going for this position at work? You have to
There it
bring
is.
something different to the
The
table.
value. You're
And
talking about value right now. What
yeah,
we all are uniquely and wonderfully made. It's our responsibility to find what value we bring to the marketplace. That's when we can really uh, cash out, if you will, or get what is coming to us, what we deserve. It's earned. It's not just going to be given. So you gotta have a solution to a problem. You have to find what's special about you, what's unique about you, because we all have it in us. But it's not just going to just be there on the surface. We got to dig down deep and go in and do some very, very deep work within us to really bring those things out and share them with everyone, because they're for us to share. We don't supposed to keep it for ourselves and just go through life and just die at the end. And no, our legacy is about what impact we make in other people's lives. That no one's going to remember the cars, no one's going to remember the amount of commercials that I've done, no one's going to remember all those things, but they will remember the impact that I've had in their lives, and that can cause a ripple effect even after I'm gone.
you said legacy. And when I was in bed laying down one night, I said, what do I want my legacy to be? I want to be remembered for the impact that I've had on the world with this platform. People, the next generation that are coming up after us, uh, can have something to look back on and get encouragement, get words of wisdom, get tips on how to be bold, how to be fearless in a career move. Because it change can be scary for a lot of people, but the thing is to not get distracted, not let what your focus or your purpose that God has put on here for you, not keep going. And my legacy, I want people to remember the amazing interviews, of course, the amazing guests. I want people to remember that. But I also want people to know the message that these guests, such as Rico and so many others, have said their stories. I've allowed people to come on and tell their stories.
And we
And
thank
people say, no, well, she
you for
didn't
that.
know. No, I did it. That's their testimony. That's their story. So I don't interrupt when none of my guests are speaking. I let them say what they're going to say. I let them tell their stories because it's not my story to tell. And each and every one of us has a story. Each and every one of us has a legacy and an impact. And my legacy that I want to be remembered for is allowing people to tell their stories. Not only that, but the impact that my guest stories has had on the audience's lives. Because you never know what a person could be going through. A person could be watching some of the
Amen.
interviews and saying, I've been through this similar situation. Or I know someone or someone else or a family member who's been through a similar situation. So
Well,
people
how
say,
about
well, she
this?
made it.
How about this? We're all in a season, right? We're either
Right.
we're either about to go into something, we just came out of something, or we're currently in one. So everyone that tunes in, they're in a season. We just don't know which season, which part they're in, and it's that cycle. But we get better. Things don't get easier. We got to be better. We got to get better, more prepared, more equipped to handle each season. There's a season for harvest. There's a season for planting. There's a season for all of these different things. So as long as we have community, we have each other, we have platforms like this to get the word out, and we thank you. We thank you on behalf of your audience, on behalf of my audience. When we meet together in the middle like this, some of my people will now know you. Some of your people will now know me. We can then begin to have control, somewhat of control over what we get to tune in for, because we know the type of content that is going to be there. And that's going to help us be the catalyst for change that we really want to make in the world, to make that impact that you were speaking about. Because there's so many programs out there, we get to choose and select what we listen to. We don't have to let them control the narrative. We can do it ourselves. We can say, hey, I'm going to tune into this interview because I know Style by Stevie is going to have something for me today. And that's what I'm most happy about when we reschedule each time. This is my second time. I hope it won't be my last. But I just look
No.
forward to sharing these times with you, however brief they may be. So I just wish you the best.
And I thank you so much. And one more thing before we let you go, because I know you are on it today. He is at the gym, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see in real time. Uh, One of my guests asked me something. You said, "What makes you different?" Hi, Nubian. TGIF, my love. Welcome. Peace and blessings.
And
We are talking about
Jen Adams, hello, Jen.
we are talking about legacies here with Rico King. And one of my guests, he asked me something. They asked me something. He said, "What sets you aside from other hosts that have platforms that are similar to yours?" I said it a few minutes ago. I don't know if you all caught it. And I said my mystery. I'm a mystery. People want to know my story. They want to know so much about me, and I only give them bits and pieces. But this year is about transparency. So you get to know a little bit of the woman you guys see every day, Monday through Friday, because I know everybody's like, they get a notification whenever I jump on with a guest. They get that notification and they pop in to see what is going on every single day. My girlfriend told me yesterday, somebody asked, is she still doing the show? I said, yes, she is. And every day for me, consistency is key. So what sets me aside from other guests is, of course, my fashion choices, because I take the most risk. Um, my personality, I'm very kind, I'm very generous to people, and I do it in a way where is, how can I say it, nuance and nurturing. Another thing that sets me aside from other guests as well too is my delivery on certain things. People like, okay, she reminds me so much of a sister. She reminds me so much of an aunt. She reminds me so much of a mom. And someone even said that I had a gentle, calming spirit. I said, okay, I'm not peppermint, but I'll take it. But that's what makes me different from the other hosts that do the same exact thing that I do. It's about delivery, and you have to find yourself in your own lane, set your own lane.
Amen.
So I don't want to be
Amen.
like my brother K Tukes. I'm not going to be like Jay Evans, and I love them. They're my brothers. Everybody has their own thing going. So that's what makes us so unique, and we love each other and we support each other. There's no competition. We always encourage,
There's
and K Tukes
there's
is
no
always giving
there's no
encouragement.
competition. There's completion.
Absolutely.
There's no competition. There's completion. Robert Frost said. There's a poem by Robert Frost. He said, two roads diverged in the wood. I took the path least likely taken, and that made all the difference. Yes, man. Just want you to think about that. You can go the route of mediocrity and how everyone else is going. That's the easy way. But if you take your own path, there's going to be
Yes.
a few people that you find along that way that's willing to walk with you. And that's when you find out who's really for you. The people in the process. The process is where you find out who's worth keeping. A lot of people don't want to go through the process with you, but that's exactly where you find the people who's worth keeping in the process. So the ones that are willing to take that walk with you, that's when you find your tribe. You operate in your frequency. You don't got to go with the flow. You be the flow. You don't have to follow the flow. You be the flow. People will find you, and that's when you know. That's when you know.
And another thing before we let Rico go, ladies and gentlemen, is originality is key. Be original. My looks change. Yes, I don't stay the same. The day before I had blonde hair, my hair is like a caramel color. I mean, I'm always changing my look. My looks will always change, but my personality will always be the same. And it's been the same since I first started. Had to do a lot of changing, and sometimes we have to hold ourselves accountable. When I started as a teenager, right after high school, right after graduating high school. And I was cocky, arrogant, didn't know it. But now that I'm 30, grown up, and
Mature.
you see a difference. Yeah, very much mature than when I first started. Whereas before, I I thought I knew it all. And people just like had to give me a reality check, like come back down to reality here.
And it's
Uh,
humbling, isn't it?
yeah.
It's humbling. It's better to be humble than to get humble. That's what I've learned. It sure
And I,
is. Listen, I just want to say this uh, before we go. Um, I do have a Nike ad out. It's a commercial. That's that's running too, as well as my Instagram is rking RKING 6312. So for those that are looking for some more encouragement in their life and a source of of refreshment, something that's going to help them in life rather than distract them. But Stevie already said distraction. There's plenty of them, and you want to focus on something. Someone who's on a path, who's going to lead by example, who's going to operate out of integrity. I welcome you. I welcome you. Come on over. My content is there for you, and you'll see for yourself. I'm not going to even promote it in a way where I'm saying you have to do this. It's a privilege to get to find somebody who has people in their lives leading lives of integrity and being around people of character. And I'm just happy that I have them in my life. So when they set that example for me, it's created a pull for me to be that catalyst for someone else. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm your guy. If not, I'm not your guy. Don't come over here because I'll flood you with positivity and encouragement, and you'll get better. And it's going to be awkward. If you don't want to get better, I'm not your guy. But if you do, you're in the right place. That's all I wanted to say.
and one more thing before we let you guys head on off into the weekend. Today's final thought comes from Maya Angelou, which tied into both of our conversations very perfectly, which is you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide to be not be reduced by them. So remember that. You can't control everything that is going to happen in your life, but guess what? You are the author of your own destiny. So that means that you can write, if you choose to take a chapter out of your life, you are more than welcome to, but you are the author of your own destiny. Remember that. You can't control all the events, good or bad, but you cannot let them defeat you also as well. So I want you
That's
guys to
right.
take that with you into the weekend. And I love you all, Fashion Dogs. Rico, it's so great catching up with you in the new year of 24. And we're definitely going to have you back on again.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
You too,
Until we meet,
ladies and
until
gentlemen.
we meet again.
Yes, Rico King, and we will see you guys next week. More girl talk. It's been an amazing week with all of these amazing women. We have Ruby Red. She is coming on Monday, and Gregory Thompson is also going to be joining me. I love you all, and make sure you go and vote for your favorite look of the week. Again, Haute Couture Fashion Week has been so fun dressing up in all of these gorgeous looks. So that will be posted, and you can check out this interview here. It will be saved. Also, subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube if you have not, and hit that bell so you'll be notified. This is interview 558, you guys. So thank you guys so much for your love and your support and supporting this season. This season kicked off with a bang in the new year. So thank you all. And I will see you guys next week. Take care.